Thank you for tuning into this slow flow class where we are going to focus on some spirals, doing a lot of twisting within class. So you'll definitely need some sort of long strap. 6 feet is great. If you don't have a yoga strap, grab a long sleeve shirt, something cottony that you don't mind stretching out a little bit, and that will do you much good. And then for some of our standing twisting poses, you're going to want definitely a block. If not a block, have like a low stool or something that you can really ground and push down into, just to get that nice alignment and opening when we go into our twisting. So we'll start from the ground and we'll do some work just to kind of open up the body so that when we get to our standing postures, you feel prepared for class, right? And then along with the twisting, we're kind of starting to work into winter, right? So spiral is kind of fall. We come into that transition where we have the solstice, and then we come into winter, and it's more about kind of opening and closing the back line of the body and backline strength. So we'll work into both of those today. And we're going to get started on the mat on our backs today. So as you get set up on your mat, be sure that you have a strap and a block within reach once you're laying down. So as you come to your back, have both feet to the mat and grab your strap, whatever you have for a strap. Unlace, and then we'll bring the right knee into the chest so that we can reach around and thread the strap, maybe around the instep or the ball of the foot, wherever it feels best. I've even seen people put it on their heel and feel more comfortable. So do whatever feels good. And then just get a sense with your left foot planted to the ground. Feel both of your hips planted to the ground, your shoulder blades. Sometimes when we do strap work, we kind of tense up the shoulders. So make sure the neck is free, the ribs are pulling into the body. Just really grounded with kind of all the other parts of our body except that right foot. We tend to get right hyper focused on that. And then as I'm flexing my right foot, my toes are almost reaching back towards the ground, and I'm reaching up with my heel, but at the same time, I'm being conscious to keep a micro bend to protect my knee joint here. And now see if you can do this, right? Reach up with your right hand so that your arm is straight, but your shoulder is down. And then from that point, take your hand underneath the strap and then back around the strap and then grab it. So that way your arm can be straight, but you're also holding onto the strap. When we straighten the arm, we can kind of relax that right shoulder a little better. And then your left hand can take the tail and just put it up and over your thumb so your thumb can kind of grab it so it won't slip. Hopefully you got all that. That's kind of a nice way to make a more easeful hold while we get our time. So in some of our standing poses today, we're going to be doing this kind of leg extension. And so one thing that's really nice about starting to warm up on the ground is we're getting some opening up from the back of the leg, which you're probably feeling, but we're also getting a nice grounding in the back of the right hip, which is what we want. In the standing variation, the hips tend to kind of sneak forward a little bit. So you can even imagine that you're pulling that right hip back down and into the mat as you're extending the right leg up. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, the left leg could come long, but if it floats or you feel it shift or pull on your spine, things might not be open enough for that variation just yet. So hold on. So now at the same time as that your back of your hip is pulling down into the mat, can you imagine the bottom side of your right seat is reaching for the bottom of your mat, kind of way back where your left foot is, or where your feet are closer to. So now we're also training the body to kind of open up and lengthen into that right side. We tend to kind of crunch up on that side that we're lifting our leg. And notice I just, if your foot's doing anything funky, you can also notice, I guess I have a tendency to externally rotate because that's easier for my body. So my right toes were facing out. Can I point them so that my right toes are more pointed directly overhead opposed to out on the angle? Now switch the strap with your left hand and you might do the same thing, right? Reach your left arm up, bring it under the strap, back over and grab it. And then your right hand can take the tail and just wrap it around your thumb for stability. Now, if you have a lot of hip flexion abilities, maybe like me, that right leg is creeping toward your torso. See if you can keep it so that your left leg and your right leg, or your right leg and the ground, are making this perpendicular line. And that's another thing that we want in the standing pose, right? We're looking for that right angle at the hip crease. But there are other poses, right, where we work that hip flexion, bring the leg a little bit closer. But for this one, having the foot right over is giving us that best alignment for our standing position when we get to it, and grounding that right hip to the mat or back. So now that we got the strap in the left hand, keeping that right hip grounded, which can be really hard because it wants to lift. Maybe I'll even put my thumb in that hip crease. I'm just going to bring my right foot over an inch or two to the left. And we'll be attempting this in our standing pose too, right? This twisting Padangusthasana variation. So you can feel how we need to be open in that outer leg line too. Just a few breaths here. Keep flexing your foot. Keep pulling that right hip down. And then we'll release. And then you could bring both legs long for a second. Do you feel like your right leg is longer than your left? I certainly do. All right, and then to start, I'll bring both my legs to this bent position so that I can more easily loop around the left foot and extend it out. You could do that strap work where the left arm reaches under the strap and then back over and grabs it. And then the right hand takes the tail of the strap and loops it around the thumb. And then I'm extending it straight up. I've got that right angle on my left hip crease. Back of my left hip is really heavy. I'm soft in my knee joint. My foot is flexing, right? Toes are pulling back, heel is reaching up. Aligning my toes to face the top of my mat. Maybe the right leg comes long. Staying long in that left side waist, right? Reaching the bottom of the left seat to the bottom of your mat, right? Where your right foot is in that direction. And we'll switch hands now. My right hand will go underneath the strap, around and grab. The tail goes up and over my thumb. I'll bring my left hand in that left hip crease, keeping the left hip grounded, keeping the left foot flexed. The foot just moves an inch or two over to the right. And keep the neck and the shoulders soft. Send your body a few more nice breaths wherever you need it, whatever's singing to you. And then release both legs long. Whew. Do a little bit of ankle circles work, flexing, extending, both ways. Okay, And now we will set the strap aside. We're going to go over and roll onto our abdomen and come into Sphinx Pose. So this is nice. We just opened up the back of the leg, and now this pose kind of helps to open up the front of the body a little bit too. So all of these ground back bending poses are a form of Bhujangasana, right, or Cobra, the official yoga pose. And I thought the mantra was so nice. It's, I rise to meet life's challenges with calm and confidence. And that's totally what these poses are about, right? We target the back, and when the shoulders and the arms get involved, we have a tendency to, oh no, what's gonna happen, right? And so it's finding that strength, that confidence that we really cultivate from our ground center, our legs, our core. And we try to stay that calm, right? Or that easefulness in the neck and the shoulders with the breath. And now let's lower for Cobra. So as we bring the hands, the forehead down, the hands will scoot back. Nice and wide, and they press down and pull back. And as they do that, you can feel your neck lengthen and your shoulders go down your back. And then as you continue that press and pull back, we lift for a baby cobra. Inhaling up and then exhaling down. Do a few rounds and imagine, right? Calm and confident. Now from here, let your hands scoot back even more so that the palms are pressing into the mat right underneath your elbows. Go ahead and tuck your toes under. And as you feel your knees press down a little bit, can you feel your lower abdomen and your abdomen start to come off the mat a little bit? Keep that press down and pull back in your arms, that nice long feeling as you pull your ribs in towards your body. Take a nice breath in. And then as you exhale, feel that belly to spine and push yourself up to your table. Take the knees nice and wide for child's pose. And then we'll kind of do the opposite, reaching the arms forward, totally unsupporting the body in this really extended position. And we'll take some nice belly breath where we don't really care of tightening the core, and we just breathe some space there. Move up to your tabletop, and we'll take our thread the needle pose. My right arm will come out like a wing, and I'll thread it under, coming down to the right shoulder, bringing the right temple down. Create the left arm forward towards the top of your mat, and at the same time, send your left hip back in space. Left arm will press down. You can take the right arm out, and we'll do that to the left. Wing the left arm, thread it on under, bring the left shoulder down, creep the right fingers forward as you send the right hip back. And then back to our tabletop. All right, we're going to find our down dog pose, hands nice and wide. Right before you lift, before you invert, bring your mind into the ribs and the core, and just feel that gentle engagement and support as you tuck your toes and send your hips up and back. Walk your dog here, bending one knee and then the other. Feel a strong line of energy through your arms, rooting down into the mat. Neck is free. Extend the right leg back and up. Can you flex the foot, reaching through that heel, making that lifted leg nice and strong? And then come into your hanging plank as the right knee comes in towards your chest. We'll step the right foot forward. We'll bring the left knee down, untuck the toes. So here's a great time for a block underneath the left hand. Feel a little bit lifted. As we press that into the block, can you take the weight off of your right leg as you bring your right hand there, and we'll twist over to the left. Really stay active and running down. Imagine that there's something underneath the top of your left foot there at the back of your mat. It's a $100 bill or something, right? You're really trying to keep it there. You don't want to lose it. Press it down as you look over the right shoulder. Now we'll tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee, right? So make sure that the right foot is holding more of your body weight than your left hand into that block, right? It's definitely supporting us, but not so much. And then we'll twist again, reaching the right hand to the sky. Now imagine you're pulling that right hip back in and towards the center, right? Hugging those hips together. And I'm keeping my left shoulder down, keeping my left side neck free as I look up. And then I'll bring my right hand down to my runner's lunge, and then I'm going to step to chair pose. So we'll bring the left foot to the top of the mat. You might stand up first to make it easier for you to do that, right? Hands reach forward, look forward. Right, that calm and confident. Not the mantra for this pose, but I'm keeping it. And then forward fold from there. Now start to strengthen up your legs in your forward fold. See how it feels with that warm-up work that we did. Bow the head, free the neck, strengthen the core. And then soften the knees to rise to stand. Reach on up. And then forward fold as you exhale. Bring the left foot back, knee down. Pin that $100 bill again underneath the left foot as you reach the arms up for one breath. And then we move to our dog. Hands down, right foot steps back. Right, feel your strong energy line through your legs, your arms, your core. And then the left leg backing up. Flexing the foot, lifted leg strong, hanging plank, left foot forward, right knee down, top of right foot is grounding. Block underneath the right hand, lifting some of the torso weight off that thigh. So the left hand comes to the left thigh, back leg really strong as I gaze over my left shoulder. You pull your right shoulder down away from your ear and back anymore. Right toes tuck, right knee lifts. Some weight into that right block, not all of it, as I reach the left arm to the sky. Gazing up, both shoulders away from the ears, hips hugging in. Left hand down, coming out of the twist and coming into our chair, right? So stepping forward is tricky. You can bring the torso up a bit, step the right foot forward into chair, sit back. Knees are pulling back. And forward fold again. Maybe ragdoll this time, opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Release to rise. Reach up for one breath and then forward fold again on your exhale with the right leg going back. Top of right foot presses down, one breath, one movement, our Anjaneyasana low lunge. And then move to your dog. All right, in your dog, Wave forward towards your plank. Take a nice breath in, look forward, exhale, lower. Calm and confident Cobra, we lift. Exhale, lower. Slide the hands back, use your core to transition to knees into dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. We'll find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. And then find your mountain pose. Exhale, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, we'll move into a sun salutation here where we step forward into crescent lunge if that works. If not, you can do warrior, and we'll do some twisting poses from there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold in half. Long spine as we take our halfway lift. Hands down, come to your plank. Inhale, lengthen. You can do this nice and strong. We lower on our exhale. Take your Cobra, strong and free. Lower. Move from your core center back to dog. Right leg back and up. Right foot steps forward, left knee will stay lifted as we come up to our standing. Okay? You have to drop that back foot, that's a-okay. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lengthen the spine as we pitch forward with the chest. Keep that right hip moving back, and we'll twist to the right. Maybe the left elbow hooks to the outer right knee. Hips hugging in towards the center line as you gaze over your right shoulder. And then we'll release the hands to the ground and move the right foot to the back of the mat, coming into dog. Left leg back and up. Strong as we come forward with that left foot, coming up for crescent or warrior. Hands to heart center. Make contact with the core, the ribs, and the body, so we're not back bending as we twist to the left. As we pitch forward, maybe the right elbow comes to the outer left knee. Right? Imagine that your core is pulling away from your thigh and towards the spine as you gaze over your left shoulder. And release to your dog. On your next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, take your Cobra. Maybe upward facing dog. Maybe you strengthen the legs and straighten the arms almost, but not completely. Eyes will be hovering, but legs are strong. And then as you transition on your exhale, we'll bring the knees down if they're lifted and come back to dog. Inhale, look forward, make your way to your top of your mat. On your exhale, find that halfway lift. When you get there, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Rise to stand. Reach. And then hands by your side. All right, a little break with some warrior one twisting here. We're going to do it outside of our sun salutation. Make sure you have a block handy. Maybe even start with it in your hand. Okay. So the left foot will step back to a warrior one shape. So the foot is down. And you can bend that foot, front knee first. I guess we're flexing the ankles too, just so you can kind of strengthen and open that back leg a little bit more. And then from here, a little bit of balance work as we straighten the right leg, but keeping the knee soft. Feel the hips hugging in, both that left and the right side, and how that kind of squares us a little bit more towards the top of the mat without getting too aggressive about it, right? And our core is supporting us. We could sweep our hands back into an airplane as we pitch the torso forward. Back right hip is really strong to support us in this fold. And then if you're coming down low enough, the left hand could come to the block just inside, maybe 5 inches, 6 inches to the left of that right front foot. My right hand is on my right hip, and I'm guiding it back in space. Guiding it back in space, and then I'm turning my torso slightly to the right, keeping my ears and neck free of my shoulders. Maybe the right arm reaches high. Hips are hugging in, shoulders are free, breathing. Release the right hand back to the right hip, soften the knees so that you can come up, and then you can step to your mountain pose, and we'll do that to the other side. Coming into the warrior one where the right leg steps back. And it's okay if this stance is a little bit more narrow for this pose. It tends to be a little bit more narrow than our usual warrior one, but it's nice to come into warrior one just to, again, get that back hip opening. Left leg will start to straighten, keeping the knee soft. My hips hug in. I feel that alignment, nice strong core. You can use your airplane arms to pitch forward. If and when you get low enough, the right hand can come to that block, maybe on the highest height. Remember, it's not supporting too much weight. Try to keep as much weight in your legs as you can, but rely on it if you need to. Twisting my chest towards the left. Left arm reaches high. Left hip reaching to the back wall. And then release. Soften the knees. Come on up. Step to your mountain. Okay, we've got one more standing warrior variation to do. We're going to come into our warrior two. I don't know why I ditched that block. I definitely need my block. Keep your block. All right, we're going to do right foot forward. So I'm going to step the left foot back. Coming into warrior one, bending that leg, and then opening up to warrior two. Right, and check for your alignment. As much as we can stack our joints helps us. So keeping this knee over the ankle is good. Right, keeping things in alignment, my hip, my knee, my ankle this way. Using your strong glutes to do that. Take the block in your right hand if you have it and place it just inside the right foot as the left arm reaches high for a side angle lunge. Now the glutes have to be really strong here because the bum wants to sneak back. Gaze up to your left hand, rotate so your thumb is closer to your feet, and bring the back of the hand behind you. Maybe the left hand reaches all the way over for the crease of your right hip. How much weight can you take off of that block? And then you can come up, and we'll step in a couple times to prepare for the next side, right? Coming into the other side, take a giant step back with your right foot. Find warrior one. Open up to your warrior two, where right foot creeps out a little bit. Nice strong seat. Stacking the joints nice and strong in the legs. Left arm, left hand meets the block just inside the right foot. As I look up, take the bind back of right hand coming to the lower back maybe, or maybe reaching all the way over for the left hip. Free your ears. Find the strength, breathe into it. For all that has been, thank you. To all that will be, yes. All right, this is the mantra for our twists. For all that has been, thank you. For all that will be, yes. All right, we'll come out of the twist. Come through our warrior two. Step forward, find your mountain. Okay, our standing balance. Fun. Find your strap. So we'll take our strap, whatever we have, and make a little loop. And basically, what this loop does is it just makes my arm longer than it is. So maybe you make your loop so that if your hand is down by your side, the loop kind of hangs towards where your calf is. And you'll have to adjust it. It won't be perfect, but that could be a good starting spot. All right. Now, as I stand, if you like some balance, you could support yourself with your right hand. The right knee will bend. The right foot lifts. Notice how the hips pitch forward, right? Remember that work we did at the back of class? Imagine those hips are keep moving back behind you. I'll strap my right foot wherever. Keep my hips back as I work to extend my leg straighter to that 90-90. Right, the hips gotta stay back to do that. And you can choke up on your strap to whatever feels good to your body, loosen it. Feel those hips hugging in. Now, can your right hand creep back behind you? Can you twist to the right, keeping your right foot facing forward, keeping your left knee facing forward. Keeping those hips back. Woo. And when you're ready, you can soften and release. Right? For all that has been, thank you. For all that will be, yes. Calm and confidence. We'll do that to the other side. I'll switch sides so I have my wall to brace myself. Left knee lifts. I'm strapping that left foot. And then I'm realigning by pulling my hips back in space as I extend my left leg out, keeping that standing leg soft. Choking up on the strap. As much feels good, or lengthening it out. Once you have that strength and stability, the left hand can start reaching back. Twisting to the left. And release when you're ready. A little fun there, huh? Okay. Let's come down for some seated postures and find something nice and comfy to sit on. All right, let's extend the right leg out and bring the left leg into butterfly. Turn the torso towards that right leg, which, it's not out in a V. I mean, it's not perfectly in front of me, but that's just where my body wants to go, right? So we've got the leg extended out. The knee can be soft if need be, and then we flex at the hips and then around the spine. The left arm could reach over for the leg. Bow the head and see if you can get that nice stretch along the whole length of your back line. Push the hands down to retreat from your fold, and then we'll switch legs. Left leg out, right leg in. My torso's facing that left leg, and we flex and then round. Come on up, and we'll take our twist. So start with both legs out. I'll mirror you guys on this one. Take the right leg and bend it. Bring the right foot to the other side of the left leg. Lean to the left so that you can tuck that foot back. Nice and tall, both feet rooting down. As the right hand tense behind you, the left arm will come up and over. Lengthen the spine once you get into your twist. See if you can put your mind in your body and notice if you're flexing or extending, or if you're side bending. Notice if your shoulders are creeping up. And untwist. Extend the legs out, and we'll do that to the other side. Left leg bends, hops over to the other side of the right leg, which bends back to the left hip. Left hand twists behind me, right arm up and over. Lengthen, strengthen, and breathe. And we'll untwist. We'll take one more. Dandasana, our staff pose, into our Paschimottanasana. Hands behind you as the legs extend out. Strengthen the legs as if they're flexing back towards the hips. And we're keeping that 90, right? We're using our core to keep that 90 as the hands, the fingers just gently rest down to guide us upright. And then from here, flex first, then round. Support yourself with props or with your hands down if you need to. Bow the head. Slowly come out. And then we'll prepare to close class on our backs. And we'll do a cat-tail twist. So have a block or a bolster outside your left hip. And as you come to lay down, grab your strap. And we'll start with some right leg. So when it interlace, just like as we started, the right foot extended up, knee soft, left leg long. See how we're doing this? Okay. We're doing this standing. We're gonna hold the strap in the left arm. I'm gonna take the right arm out like a wing. I'm gonna guide my left foot across my right side, guide my right foot across my left side body. And then my shin or my foot will rest on that block or whatever prop is there. Now we're working towards that 90-degree angle between our left and our right leg, but you might not be able to lift it that high, and that's okay. See if you can free that right hip. Notice if you're side bending, can you reach that right hip down towards the bottom of your mat? Can you also pull it back in space if it's lunging forward to chase the foot? To go deeper, the left leg bends, the foot will come closer to your seat, and you might reach down. It's nice to have two straps for this pose, right? But if you only have one, you can always decide what you do, right? I might switch straps. I might say, I've had enough lengthening, right leg. I'm gonna let you bend a little bit, and I'll take the strap so I can capture the left foot. Whatever you wanna do. And when you're ready, take a few more breaths if you're trying something new, but come back to your back and we'll set up for the other side. It's nice to do a little hug and rock just to kind of feel hopefully how free things back there are. All right, I'm gonna strap the left foot, knee soft, extending up. My right hand will hold the strap. I've got to move my prop here over to the right side. My hips can go a little bit over to the left. I'm going to extend that right leg long and then I'll guide. The block will support me. My left arm could reach out like a wing. And keeping that right leg engaged will also help with the 90-90 too. Right? It doesn't have to be the left leg doing all the work. That bottom leg can support you. Staying long in that left hip. If you want to try the cattail, where you bend the right knee and the left hand captures the right foot, go for it. And then release. Come onto your back. Find half corpse. Let your hands rest on your abdomen. And feel your feet to the mat, your hips, your shoulders, your head, all nice and heavy and connected. Maybe circle through those body awareness points one more time. And then we'll transition into our final rest. You could stay in your half corpse or maybe extend the legs long. We did all that leg lengthening stuff today. That Shavasana actually feels really nice, so I might try that variation on. And we'll rest the mind and body for 20 breaths. And some small movement back into the body. Fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. When you're ready, give a little hug and rock side to side. You can roll to fetal or rock and roll up to a seat and sit nice and tall. Feel the space you created. Together we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, with gratitude for all that we have. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Ask questions if you have them. Take care.